Start streaming. Hello everybody, my name is Eugene Capon. This is the Social Media Help Desk. In a few minutes, we're going to be live on all social network, wherever we're filming to. I know that we're doing Mixer, we're doing Facebook, we are doing YouTube, you know, all the good ones. All right, so I am going to go ahead and bring up my chat. Say hi. When you enter the room. Cool. We are live. I believe we're live now. Hello everybody, my name is Eugene Capon. This is the Social Media Help Desk where you ask questions and I give you answers. And just start sending in your questions. You can send me a question on Facebook, Mixer, Twitter, YouTube. I'm using Restream right now, so it's all being collected and shoved into a general stream just for me. Twitter probably isn't a great one right now because I left a message for Boogie298 and he replied, and now I have 800 notifications of people trying to, you know, like my comment. I commented about a stormtrooper in his background. It's actually kind of funny. In the background of his like before and after 1 year photo, he has two different stormtroopers. A year prior, it was like a much smaller stormtrooper, and then now it's a much bigger stormtrooper, and they're both wearing the same lanyard. And so I commented, did that stormtrooper get taller? And how many people? And almost 1,200 people seem to have liked that comment. So in the last 24 hours, I've gotten 1,200 notifications. And oh look, two more. Thanks, Boogie. No, actually, I hung out with him briefly at VidCon. Nice dude. Loved everybody who was hanging out back at VidCon. If you ever get a chance to go to VidCon, go to VidCon. It's a good time. All right, so why don't we go ahead and I actually got to check. I don't have anybody else like in the room with me to check things. So I'm just kind of doing it all by myself right now. Hopefully Topher eventually will be able to join me on this show. For everybody who doesn't know, Topher is my co-host from Glitched. I think he would benefit from doing this show with me because he is just full of knowledge about like digital wallets and chatbots and other things. Well, I am definitely more on the how to grow Twitter and Instagram and how to start a podcast, which is something I definitely want to talk about in the near future. Not this episode because it'll be all by itself, but it is something I do want to get into. Okay, we are also on Twitch now. We are on Mixer, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, and Facebook. So, if you have any questions, leave a comment and we will go ahead and sit down and address it. Okay. And you can actually ask about anything about social media, and we will take the time to even do a little bit of a deep dive into your social media platform. And if you're really interested in growing, this is a great opportunity for just really anybody. Even if you have like a nonprofit, or you're just getting started, or you've been a vet for a long time as far as social media goes. Oh, I don't think we're on Periscope. Why is that? I wonder why that is. For whatever reason, Periscope is not linking up with Restream. That is unfortunate. That is unfortunate. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and check my other camera here. Okay, we are live in post-recording, which is great. So we got our audio. I'm using a Blue Yeti mic. That was a gift from Microsoft and Blue. So thank you, Blue, for the free microphone. I'm definitely going to get use out of it. So if you're going to, give away any, might as well be to somebody who's actually going to use it, right? I think so. So anyway, we have our first comment, and let's take a look. And this comes from Tessa. Hello, Tessa. Welcome to the show. And her question is, my following count is on a steady of about 5 a day. What can I do to double that? I'm very active and post multiple times a day. Well, Tessa, thank you so much for the question. Let's go ahead and take a look at your social media. And I can tell already that you have your stuff together. Wow, okay. So Tessa has about 20,000 tweets. She's following 943 people. She has approaching 5,000 followers, has 19 lists, and 12.4 K likes. I love it. And you are being followed by a ton of people that I follow. So, way to be in the community. Well, Tessa, right off the bat, I can say your graphics are on point. It looks like you are, in fact, being very active. I only see one post for the day. 4, 5. 5 for yesterday. Yeah, no, that looks great. Okay, so the only sort of advice I can give as far as, this goes is I don't see you using a ton of hashtags in your content. So the first thing I would do is start using hashtags in relatable subject matter that you are posting about. And I see most of the time you're talking at people versus asking questions. So something you might want to do is start asking questions to the audience that you have, thus prompting them to engage with your content. And then from there, those people who are commenting on your posts will then be shown their content and them interacting with you to their followers. And from there, your Twitter following should increase. Nice. Okay, so other than that, Tessa, your stuff is looking great. I think if you just stay on a steady path, path that you're currently on, maybe collaborate with more people. So just to reiterate, what you can do is, one, use hashtags, because you're not doing that, especially for big events. Oh, further down, you start using it a little bit more. And then it stops for a while, and then you go back. Okay. Yeah. So what you can do is, one, use trends as far as content that you should be posting. Two, use more hashtags. It's very specific to niche things, specifically for people that you are doing things for Cisco, it looks like. Something else you can do is, whenever you are going to an event, you can use the specific hashtag for that event. Go through and just start liking everybody using that hashtag. You don't have to follow them, but you can like them. And basically, when you go, Tessa at Vegas, Tessa at, VidCon 2018, Tessa at PAX West 2018. Basically, you're giving little nods to, like, hey, if you're interested, I am going to be here. I am somebody of interest. If you see me on the show floor, say hi. And come start a conversation with me. And if these are people that are willing to start conversations with you in IRL, I bet you they would be more than happy to follow you on Twitter. But other than that, you've done a fantastic job as far as content goes, as far as interaction goes. Everything is filled out. You're following an adequate number of people to, fill out that industry. No, you're doing great. All right. It is 6:12. We are 12 minutes into the show. If you have any questions about social media, or any other questions for me in general, go ahead and leave a question in the comment area, either on any of the many social networks that we are currently on, including Mixer, including YouTube, including Twitch. I can't tell if we are or are not on Periscope. You may need to try to fix this really quick. For whatever reason, Facebook did not want to connect, which is a bummer. I just got sent this super long message I can't even stop to read right now. Okay. So we are in the room today. Social media is on its way. I'm looking at Christian Stewart's face. It looks talentless. Talentless. Kristen Stewart is talentless. Just kidding, I don't really know her. But I'm sure she's a nice person. You know, it shows that Restream has been so weird lately. It's been really weird lately. Like, probably just too close. Probably too close to the mic. There we go. So anyway, let's try this again. Anybody who is just tuning in, my name is Eugene Capon. This is the Social Media Help Desk, where you ask questions and I will answer those questions. I think that was pretty much given. Now you can leave a message on Twitter or Facebook, or for some reason it is not populating on Mixer. Why is that? You know, guys, we were supposed to be on Mixer's kind of like our main platform for this. It's so interesting because man, Restream is just having a bunch of problems right now. It's not great. And all of my notifications are because of Boogie. 298. 2988, sorry. Boogie. No, he's a nice guy. Ah, geez. Anyway, so I'm going to flip over to Mixer, where this show is supposed to be, but for whatever reason, it is not actually populating over there. Which is a real bummer, because I wanted us to be... That could be why. We gotta add Mixer. Sorry, guys. This is just gonna take a moment. And then we should be where we need to be. This is so disappointing. I'm spending like half the show just fixing problems. Mixer has this weird problem where whenever it opens up, it like freezes while the graphics are trying to load. And it won't really let you do things. Talk show. Talk show. Save. Out of here. Okay. I mean, it's 6:20. We can officially start the show. Let me make sure that my camera is still recording. Very cool. Okay. So, now that all that stuff is fixed, we can actually start the show at 6:20. Okay. So, for everybody that's just joining us, can't believe we're doing this again. So everybody who is just tuning in, thank you so much. My name is Eugene Capon. This is the social media help desk where you guys ask questions and I take the time to answer them. And we have a variety of questions. The first one is with Tessa. Tessa, let's bring up your question. Cool. So Tessa's question is, my following count is on a steady of about 5 a day. What can I do to double that? I am very active and post multiple times. Now, Tessa, I have taken a look at your social media. It is on point. Like, you do a very good job. The only thing I can really suggest are a couple of smaller things. One, you can increase your use of hashtags. Now, it doesn't look super pretty, but if you're trying to get your content out there as far as whatever you're doing goes, hashtags are probably going to be the way to go. But I don't think you should just make up hashtags. I think they should be very specific about the things that you are doing. Like labeling the events that you're going to. I see you're already doing a lot of that, which is fantastic. Something you can do to increase your follow rate is you can look at everybody else who is using that hashtag for all the events you go to. What you can do is type in that hashtag into the search, find newest, and start liking the comments for everybody in there. And that's basically giving yourself little like nods of like, hey, if you're interested in my content, you might do your, $1.80, which is find 9 hashtags and leave your 2 cents on them, right? And do it to 10 different hashtags. So that's basically your 2 cents for 90 posts, and that's your $1.80. Other than that, you're pretty much on fly. I don't understand why you wouldn't be growing more. It might just be that your content is very specific to you, and it's not what your audience wants. I mean, you got to ask yourself, why are these people following you in the first place? I don't know too many people who are going to be interested in Cisco as a whole. Is your content funny? Is it entertaining? Is it shareable? One of the big things that you should be trying to aim for is making shareable content. That means, hey, is this funny enough for other people to reshare? Yeah? Okay. Other people are going to share it out, and that's how you grow. How many of your posts are you asking a question? Because when people ask questions, Twitter goes, oh, hey, your friend that you're following left a reply to this comment. It might be relatable to you. Why don't you go back, take a look, and see if it actually is relatable to you, right? Other than that, Tessa, your Twitter is fantastic. I don't know why you wouldn't otherwise be growing that following. All right, next up we have Maylin. Let's go find your question. Do you have any recommendations for cell phone camera settings that is not have blurry output? Well, the first thing I would want to know is, what camera are you using? I can't really, help you unless you let me know what sort of camera you have. What you could do is have it on your selfie. So I'm going to pretend you have what I have, which is a Galaxy S9. And very much, I use this phone to capture a lot of content and media when I'm doing my weekly videos, because I think the camera is awesome. I use the self-focus, so it always will look for me and then self-focus on itself. I also use a ring light, so my picture is always well lit, and the camera can find me. I think that's got to be one of the better things you need to be doing. Is if your light isn't great, your camera is going to have trouble finding you, or at least it will in cell phones, unless you're like specifically there to do self-tapping. Self-tapping. Okay, next we have, so for whatever reason, the Facebook comments actually don't jump into Restream. So I'm having to open it up and take a look at the other comments back here. Skylar, hey Eugene, how do you gain more followers / likes on Facebook with organic interaction? Thanks. Well, the best thing you can do is make sure that your content is relatable. Make sure that it's being reposted out to different groups that have relatable niches. So say your whole thing is videography. You might find like production peeps, or you might find different groups specifically for video production, photography, camera gear, camera rentals, that sort of thing, or film in general. I mean, there's got to be 100 different groups out there specifically for your niche. Basically, find your content, make it part of your page. And I would not put it as a business, even though that's part of the whole thing. Here's the real trouble with pages. Facebook doesn't want to give you the traction you're most likely going to want because they want you to put out money to sell advertising for those posts to get out. So getting unique organic interaction, unless your stuff is absolutely mind-blowing or it hits on a specific nerve or it's, drawing at the heartstrings, it's probably not going to be shareable. I'm sorry, that sucks to say, but that's the truth. It's probably not going to be, shareable. Like, I would definitely say, like, look at the content being put out by, like, Cute Animals or Raka Raka or Democracy Now! I mean, all of those videos are highly shareable, are highly interactive, and what they're doing is their content is pulling at some sort of emotional attachment to you or telling a unique story or a visually pleasing story that makes people want to go, hey, Cheryl, you need to check out this video. Hey, Josh, I'm sending this to you. I think you're going to like it. Hey, Dan, that conversation that you and I had the other day? This is exactly what we were talking about. So, yeah, that's it. To make sure that your content is shareable. You can share it to other groups to help get it started. And make sure to, have a story, have some sort of emotional attachment to the content that you are making. One of my favorite videos that I saw recently was just a zebra treading water and then getting out after being chased by a crocodile and then instantly being taken down by two lions. Like, not only was that like an emotional roller coaster as I was feeling for this zebra, this majestic creature in the wild, I ended up seeing it get killed and part of the circle of life. The circle of life, right? That was a piece done by like National Geographic, and I guess they were in a balloon when it happened. And it's just one of those like rare sightings that you're like, I bet a lot of people wanted to see that zebra make it, but it's dead. It sucks. Circle of life, baby. Circle of life. Okay, what do we got here? Got questions. We got answers. I'm going to reboot my mixer. For whatever reason, my mixer isn't wanting to sync to Restream, which is such a bummer. Thank you everybody who is watching right now. Skylar Mullins, Toastmaster, Matthew Lewis, Meelan. You guys are all champions in my book. For those just tuning in, my name is Eugene Capon. This is the Social Media Help Desk, where you guys ask questions and I do my best to answer them specifically in the medium of social media. You know, that thing that we're all trying to grow to become super famous. Well, not all the time. Usually it's more of a marketing vehicle to push dollars into products. So it was a big week for us as far as like Instagram goes. We started building these accounts called Polygon, Topher Welsh and I. And mostly it's me doing it. And after setting up our first account and growing it to, you know, over 5,000 in maybe 3 months. You know, it's just this weird steady increase of likes. And we're getting about, you know, anywhere between 50 to 100 new people per day onto it. And I'll tell you, that whole first month of us doing it was just a straight grind. It was just post, you know, 3 pieces, maybe one person gets back to us. Skylar, so I've gained about 700 followers on IG in the last 2 months, and I've only posted about 80 to 100 times total. Is that good? Well, that depends. I think it's good. I mean, but you got to understand. Oh, the lights went out. Hold on. But you got to understand, like, we are creating repost groups, which means we are already grabbing content that is specifically that we know is going to perform very well because it's already performed very well on other accounts. And when we hit that 5,000, we decided that to start 2 more groups. The first one is Polygon Travel, which is just a repost group of travel photos. And then one that we started this morning that already 52 people have, you know, signed up to is more tech related. It's called Polygon Setup. And we're following 7 people. We got 52 followers already. And I think we're doing pretty well. Miss Porter, welcome to the stream. So when you ask if 80 to 100 times is good for 700 followers, I'd say that's incredibly good. You have a 7 to 1 increase as far as people following your content. I mean, if you were posting once and getting, you know, 3 people, that's pretty good. I would say you are definitely doing, you know, above and beyond what I would imagine you would normally get, right? I mean, 700 new followers for 100 posts, that's fantastic. Matthew Lewis, hi Eugene, this is my first time here, nice show. Do you have any Eventbrite hacks? Man, you know, I don't think I've ever been asked about Eventbrite. That's a new one to me. I mean, you might use the social media accounts that you already have to create email lists, and then use that email list to funnel out Eventbrites as far as inviting people to events. And then, you know, have those people on Eventbrite maybe try to bring a few people, or maybe you offer, hey, we have a concert going on and you can get a ticket free if your friend buys a full price ticket. You know, get somebody else to pay your fee. Basically, you're giving 2 people 50% off, but that is better than, you know, nobody coming to your show at all, right? I'd rather get paid half for a gig than have absolutely nobody show up to that same gig. Because guess what? 2 is better than 0, right? You know, and I'm going to have to think about other Eventbrite hacks, just because that's such a... I don't think that's something I've ever asked myself before, as far as, you know, creating content. Usually this show, I get people asking me about, like, how to grow my Twitter, how to grow my Instagram, how to grow my YouTube, which is weird because I originally started this as, hey, do you want to talk about YouTube? And I don't think I've ever had a single person on the show actually ask me about YouTube. It's really interesting. Hey, my pleasure, Matthew. So as far as some of the other Instagram techniques that I was talking about, what you can do is we're definitely creating curation groups, which allow people to, you know, support communities, grow communities. And from there, you can use it to leverage your own stuff. For instance, say I am a shoe designer. I might start a Instagram account, a curated Instagram account about shoes. And I might go through 3 to 4 times a day and reshare or repost, you know, 4 different images with awesome stories related to content that I'm specifically interested in. And don't always remember to go like 3 niches down. So like for our Polygon artists page, what we're doing is it's not just art. It is 3D art, usually Cinema 4D or Houdini or Maya, and it has to be usually done in a very visually stunning way. Like there are definitely a lot of artists that have this unique style, like Stero or Beeple or Dark Media, and so those are the sort of artists that we are promoting. And we've actually grown the account to be strong enough that we'll find an piece of art that's been out for a week, and it'll have about 150 views, and then we will repost it, and within a couple of hours we'll have like 1,500 views. And because we always give credit, we always want people, if they enjoy a piece of art, they circle back and go to the artist and like that artist. We're not just, you know, using them to, you know, gain a following. We're out actually promoting them as well. And I think that's the good cycle that you want. You want to have content that you can post and promote, even if it's not your own, to, you know, help that feedback. Like, if these people are watching your content and they feel like you're stealing from them, reposting their stuff, then you're not doing it right. But if you repost their stuff and right after they see it because you're tagging them and they go, thank you so much, you know, for, you know, realizing my stuff and appreciating it, that's when I know that that Instagram account is, you know, going to be all right. Matthew, I'm experimenting with creating content for my real events in Silicon Valley and then further monetizing them by packaging them up as webinars. So does that mean that you're selling tickets to the actual event and then selling per pass digitally to people who might not be able to make it to that same event? Is that what you're talking about? I would be interested to know. Okay, so we're coming about 15 minutes into the show. We got 15 minutes left. Deputy Geek says, what's the rules about reposting on Instagram? Well, it's very simple. The way that we know it's okay to repost certain pieces of content is because of a couple things. One, we did our research ahead of time. So there are specific hashtags that creators are using that is basically labeling their content to be reposted or sent out into the world. So for travel, you might use the hashtag travelgram. Every creator who is using that hashtag is basically like, look, travelgram is one of the biggest travel Instagram accounts on the planet. If they start hosting your stuff, it's guaranteed at least like 200-300 people are going to start following your content. I mean, they got like 1.5 million people following that account, but they have, 85 million pieces of content specifically tagged as travelgram material, and then they get to go through and figure out, what that is. What we were doing as far as Polygon Artist goes is we found the hashtag MD Community. Now, MD Community is a Instagram account just like ours. And what we did was we basically did our research, went, okay, all these people are using this hashtag in hopes that this one account will, share it out. And so that is the only pile of accounts and art that we are reposting from, because we don't want people to assume that, we're stealing their stuff, because we don't want to. We want to be promoting, not stealing. And that's usually the difference. We've only had one account on Polygon where somebody went, hey, thank you for sharing our stuff, but we really wish you had, asked first. And we went, hey, did you know that your stuff is tagged for republishing? And they went, what are you talking about? Like, use the hashtag MD Community. That's what that's for. That's what that specific hashtag is meant to incur. And they went, oh, I didn't know that. Thank you so much for educating me, and thank you for sharing our stuff. And then after about 10 minutes later, he actually deleted his comment because I'm sure he felt silly. Deputy Geek, I know that you had some other questions. Go ahead and ask them now so we can get them into the show today. And thank you so much for hosting. You are amazing. Matthew Lewis. By the way, there seems to be a quite delay between the moment I hit send and the moment you see it. Yeah, there is about a 30-second delay between when I'm seeing it and when, it has to come full circle back to you. Okay, so we are coming down to the last 10 minutes of the show. We did have some technical errors in the beginning that kind of gave us a late start, but for mental health reasons, I have to get out of here and go to the gym and, get all buff. I mean, I can't be sitting here at the computer desk all day playing video games. Even though I would really love that life, I would just, get really skinny and then get kind of big in the middle. And nobody wants to live that way. Oh yeah, shout out to all my friends who are, just losing a ton of weight right now. Billy the Fridge and Barnacle Nerdgasm. I've been watching you guys lately, and you guys are such, I don't want to say inspirations, but you're just force of will. I know that Jerry Berg lost 30 pounds in the last month. which is just amazing to me. I didn't even know it was humanly possible to lose 30 pounds in 30 days. It seems almost unhealthy and a little too fast. But, you know, as long as it's working and it's, you know, showing results, you know, I'm happy for you guys and I'm super proud. And let me know if there's anything I can do to help, like, you know, go to the gym with you guys one day. Steve, thank you so much for the heart. I love it when you stop by, man. Awesome. For anybody just tuning in, my name is Eugene Capon. This is the Social Media Help Desk. If you got questions about social media, or you have, you know, pondering or questions or anything of that nature, and you need, you know, help, now would be the time. We got 8 minutes left before I sign off. Any other questions? Oh, so fun fact. I was hanging out with some friends this past weekend who are much, much bigger than anybody else I've been hanging out with lately as terms of influence and following. And we started talking, and apparently he sent some of his staff over to YouTube for some personalized training. And it's come to my attention that hashtags on YouTube do not matter anymore. Like, I think I'm still going to use it. I mean, we definitely have our 3 hashtags that we use. But hashtags on YouTube are not needed anymore, which is insane. Billy, thank you so much for joining the show. Welcome. We have about 7 minutes left. If you have any social media questions, leave them now, and then we can get to them. Awesome. Cool. So, and the whole reason why tags aren't really working right now or I just think that the Google AI system is so powerful that it can just go through your video, figure out where you are, who you are, pick up all your voice commands, turn it into a set of data sets and information, and then go, hey, this person is talking about social media. You know, he's wearing a green shirt. This is clearly a product review, you know, whatever your video's content is. And then it will go, is this a good piece of content? Yes or no. And then put it to the appropriate audience, which could, you know, help you grow, or it might not. So it's super interesting. And I think Instagram is going that way as well, where hashtags aren't going to matter as much anymore. Just the algorithm reading your content, figuring out what you're saying in the comments or in the, you know, area down below, and going, hey, this person is super engaging. We might share this out to a couple of other people and go from there. Well, all right. If anybody doesn't have any more questions, I think I'm going to wrap up. Thank you, everybody. I think there's like 15 of you between all these different networks that showed up today, which actually makes us our biggest show yet. And this is week 3 of doing this. Josh Foster, hey, thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, I always love it when people leave comments so I can see that they're, you know, joining us. I can't see when people join. I can only see them if they leave comments. Perfect. So anyway, if you have any questions, go ahead and tweet them at me, and I'm going to collect them for next week. You know, say you wake up at 2 in the morning and you're like, I really want to know how to do this one thing in social media. go ahead and leave a comment on my videos, or send me a DM, or tweet at me at Capon Design, just like in the corner up there. And I will save that for next week. And we can have the same awesome conversation, and I can help you guys grow, because that's really what this is. You guys ask questions, I help you out. This is free advice. And if you are somebody who runs a bunch of pages and you get clients all the time that don't understand like the really simple stuff, send them my way. It's absolutely free, and it's just something I'm doing with the community. So anyway, I've been Eugene Capon, better known as Capon Design. This has been the Social Media Help Desk, and I will see you in the next video, the next time I stream, and whatever else. Go ahead and hit the like button, follow, do all the different things on whatever social network that you are currently watching on. I'll catch you next time.